Did Apple just make the Apple Watch Ultra even more ultra? So Apple just released an update for the Apple Watch Ultra, and I think the Apple Watch 8 also. What it does is it gives us a new mode that allows us to enter into like ultra track mode that you have for the Garmin. So I'm gonna test it out today. Here's the plan. I'm gonna run about 4 miles. I know it's not ideal. I'd like to do 15 hours or 100K or something to really test this thing. But I'm gonna do like 4 miles. I'm going to put the watch in what I'm going to call the ultra track mode. I got my Garmin Fenix 6. I'm going to put it in the ultra track mode. I'm going to turn off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and cellular and all that stuff. Try to get both watches about the same. And then I'll check in about every mile, let you know how the battery's doing, and give you a metric comparison. Let's get going. All right, let me stop running. Here's a 1 mile update. And the Garmin's showing me at 1.2 miles. And the Apple Watch is showing me at 0.78. So, quite a bit of a difference between the two there. The Apple Watch is showing me at 12:02 pace, which is, that's probably close. I felt more like a 10-minute pace, but like the Garmin watch right now shows me at a 14:30, which is let me see here, and an average of 8:57. I definitely wasn't running sub 9 at any time, but the distance, well, I'll say the distance seems closer on the Garmin, but the Garmin's just showing me with a little bit more distance. I'll be curious to see what this looks like on the map. I think the Apple Watch is cutting out some sections or something. Anyway, all right, on to mile 2. All right, I'm over 2 miles on the Garmin, actually 2.57, and on the Apple Watch I'm 2.06, so half a mile difference. Apple Watch battery is 53%, and the Garmin is still 17%, so it's possible that the Apple Watch was about ready to drop a percentage point anyway when I started. Diesel truck. Yeah. So average pace 11:45 on the Apple Watch. Average pace on Garmin 9:49. So I think that should be, just perceived effort, or perceived speed, I guess I should say. Probably 10:30. So, all right, I will check back in roughly mile 3 to somewhere in there. That probably isn't the ideal test, just 4 miles, but depending on which watch you go by. At least it gives us a little taste, and we can kind of see what's going on here and compare it to the Garmin. I don't like extrapolating from a small data set like we have today, but I'm gonna get to the house and let's take a look at these maps and see what the tracking looks like. All right, guys, here's a side-by-side comparison of the Apple and the Garmin. The Apple is on the left and the Garmin's on the right. Workout time's pretty much the same. The difference you see there is just from, me stopping one before the other. The distance, however, is quite a bit of a difference, especially just over the short distance, over 4 miles, roughly. I guess it depends on which watch we're going by. Oddly, though, they both got the pretty close elevation gain. So here's the GPS maps that the Apple and the Garmin created. On the left, you can see the Apple shows us actual dots, and the gray dots represent points that the watch filled in. It didn't acquire a GPS signal for that point. The colored points are the places where the watch did get a GPS signal. On the right, you see the Garmin. That's the heat map for speed, I think, but it doesn't give us the option to see which actual places it was getting a signal and it didn't get the signal. This, kind of like bird's eye view here, they both look pretty good and very similar, but when we kind of zoom in, that's where the differences are seen. On the left at Apple, you can see that it's got me going through some houses and people's yards. It doesn't have me on the street, like heading down at Southeast Pheasant Avenue. And neither does the Garmin on the right. I really don't even know which one is more accurate. It looks to me like the Garmin is getting more GPS points because it doesn't have the straight lines as much as the Apple. It does seem that the Garmin is following the streets a little bit better, but yeah, I really don't know. I'd be interested to know what your all's thoughts on this are. Kind of brings me to my initial question. Did Apple make the Apple Watch Ultra more ultra? And in my opinion, they did not. I think that this, what I consider to be ultra track mode, is probably suitable. Actually, it would definitely be suitable for hiking or walking. So probably if you're going to do a through hike on the PCT or the AT, this would be beautiful. I mean, this would just be wonderful because you're not moving fast enough to not to have the GPS points spaced really far apart. Wouldn't be that much for it to fill in. But if you're running or even worse, cycling, maybe gravel riding, your points are going to be, I think they're going to be way off. So I wouldn't trust this, or I wouldn't want to use this in Hundo, because I think you might end up, with the Apple Watch Ultra that is, you would end up probably way short. What I recommend is to charge the Apple Watch Ultra maybe halfway through or whenever needed instead of using the Ultra Track style mode. But with that being said, though, if accuracy is not a big issue to you, then by all means do it or use it, because in this short run, the battery usage between the Garmin and the Apple Watch was almost identical. 1% was what both of them used. Now, I didn't start off with both of them at 100%, but I don't think that really matters. But I mean, that portion of it was pretty impressive. Let me just say this and then I'll close this out. I think that the Apple Watch Ultra is on the right track with this. Apple just needs to make it a little bit more accurate by producing 1 or 2 more points per minute. But for now, I'm just going to stick with the Garmin. But if somebody was not really that concerned with accuracy, hey, just charge it once, in a Hundo. Because if you're fit, you're probably going to need to charge it once. Because I think you're going to get probably right now maybe 15 hours in normal mode if you turn off cellular. Maybe a little bit more if you turn off Bluetooth and all that other stuff. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching.